You read that line and something in you tightens because you're tired of talking about strength. You're tired of pretending you don't care when people disrespect you. You're tired of pretending ghosting doesn't hurt, that betrayal doesn't sting, that your overthinking hasn't been chewing through your sleep. You've been the nice guy, the understanding one, the one who explains himself, the one who waits on texts, replays conversations in your head, wonders what you did wrong. On the surface, you look calm. Inside, it's a storm. You feel it when someone talks over you and you swallow the anger. You feel it when you stay where you're not respected just because you're scared to walk away. You feel it when you lose whole nights to your own mind, building fake scenarios, rehearsing arguments that never happen. You've tried distractions. You've tried being more chill. You've tried telling yourself it doesn't matter, but it does. Because every time you let disrespect slide, you train yourself to accept it. Every time you say yes when your gut screams no, you tell yourself your boundaries don't matter. Every time you chase someone who only gives you crumbs, you prove to yourself that you're willing to beg for what you should naturally attract. And then you start to believe a lie. The lie that you're weak, the lie that you're not enough, the lie that you're meant to suffer quietly. This is where Stoicism enters, not as a soft quote on a pretty background, as a weapon, as armor, as the discipline that turns your chaos into a sharp, controlled blade. Stoicism is not about becoming a cold robot. It's about becoming a dangerous calm. A man who feels everything, but is ruled by nothing. Right now, your mind feels like a battlefield you're losing. Thoughts fire from every direction. What did she mean by that text? Why didn't they invite you? What if you mess this up at work? What if you fail? The old you runs from this, scrolls, drinks, binges, escapes. The Stoic version of you stands in the middle of that battlefield and says, "Enough. This is my mind. This is my life. This is my war." In this video, you're going to walk through 8 brutal Stoic rules that will make you mentally untouchable. Not positive vibes, not soft comfort. Brutal, because the world is brutal, and your mind needs truth, not sugar. You're going to learn why your emotions keep hijacking you and how to put them back in their place. You're going to see why begging for respect never works and how to become the man who simply commands it. You're going to feel the difference between being reactive and being unshakable. If any part of this already hits that nerve inside you, pause for a second. Decide that from this moment on, you're done being walked over. You're done being available for every little disrespect. And if you're serious, lock it in publicly. Hit subscribe so you stay locked into this path of discipline and power, and drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose to become mentally untouchable, because that is what this is really about. Identity. You are not just learning ideas. You are reforging who you are. Right now, your identity might secretly sound like this. I'm the guy who cares too much. I'm the guy who always gets hurt. I'm the guy who gets used because I'm nice. You carry those lines around like invisible tattoos. They shape how you walk, how you speak, what you tolerate, and the world responds to them. Stoicism demands a new script, a new identity. I am a Stoic warrior. I am calm under pressure. I do not chase disrespect. I walk away from anything that costs my peace. The old script keeps you on your knees. The new script puts you back on your feet. But here's the hard part. You can't become mentally untouchable while still clinging to the same weak habits. You can't be a Stoic warrior and still be available for every late-night breadcrumb text. You can't be dangerous calm and still explode or shut down every time something doesn't go your way. So the first brutal truth you need to face is this: your suffering is not just caused by what people do to you. It's fueled by what you keep allowing. That's where the ancient Stoics cut deeper than modern comfort culture. Epictetus said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." You've probably seen that line before, but you rarely let it confront you, because if it's not what happens, but how you react, then your reactions are your responsibility. Your spirals, your late-night overthinking, your "I'll show them" revenge fantasies, your emotional begging. Inside, that might sting, because you remember the times you went back to someone who broke you. The times you sent that long message trying to explain yourself. The times you stayed quiet when you should have walked away. But that sting is good. It's the cut of a sword scraping off weakness. From this point on, think of your life as a series of tests. Every disrespect is a test. Every delay is a test. Every rejection is a test. Not of your worth, of your discipline, of your control. You're not here to become numb. You're here to become precise. Precise with your time. Precise with your reactions. Precise with your boundaries. Imagine yourself in a storm. Rain slams into your face, wind screams, people around you are running, panicking, shouting. You feel that same chaos in your life right now. Family drama pulling you, relationship pain haunting you, money pressure punching you in the gut. Most people in that storm look for shelter in other people. Validate me, choose me, save me. The Stoic warrior does something else. He plants his feet, he breathes. He does not beg the storm to calm down. He becomes calm inside the storm. That is mental untouchability. The storm is loud, but your mind is quiet. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That line is the foundation of everything you're about to build. People will still leave. They will still disappoint you. They will still gossip, lie, doubt you, underestimate you. But your mind will no longer be their playground. You stop making their opinions your prison. You stop letting their silence be your torture. You stop letting their choices decide your value. You turn inward and say, "My mind is my responsibility. My focus is my weapon. My emotions are my soldiers, not my masters." Tonight, when your head hits the pillow, you'll either be the same man who keeps replaying old scenes, or you'll be the man who has started sharpening his inner sword. These 8 brutal Stoic rules are that sword. Each one will cut away a layer of softness, confusion, and emotional weakness. Each one will demand that you trade comfort for strength. Each one will pull you out of the role of victim and into the role of warrior. This is not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming solid, grounded, someone who has standards, not just feelings. So as you move forward in this video, stay honest with yourself. When a rule hits too hard, don't flinch away from it. Lean into it. That pain you feel is where your old self is dying. Right now, at this very moment, you are standing at a crossroads. One path is familiar. You already know it. You keep overthinking. You keep explaining. You keep staying where you're not respected. You keep reacting instead of choosing. The other path is different. It's quieter, heavier. It demands more from you. It asks you to shut your mouth when you want to explain yourself. It asks you to walk away when your ego wants to stay and prove something. It asks you to be disciplined when your body screams for comfort. This is the path of the Stoic warrior, the path of becoming mentally untouchable. Take a breath. Feel your chest rise and fall. Feel your jaw unclench. Feel your spine straighten just a little more. You are not here by accident. You are here because some part of you is done living like a victim of your own mind. From here, you and the pain you've carried are going to meet something new. Law, principle, non-negotiable rules that will quietly govern how you live, what you tolerate, and how you respond. In the next part of this video, you're going to step into the first brutal Stoic rule that begins this transformation. It will challenge how you see disrespect, attention, and your own value. It will force you to stop chasing and start choosing. And as you hear it, remember this: you are not becoming emotionless, you are becoming unshakable. You've already felt it. That slight shift inside you when you heard that this isn't about becoming numb, but becoming unshakable. You're starting to see your life as a battlefield, not a random mess. Now it's time to put your first weapons in your hands. You said you want to be mentally untouchable. That doesn't start with other people. It starts with what you allow, what you tolerate, what you reinforce. So, here's the first brutal Stoic rule. Rule 1. Never chase disrespect. If you remember nothing else, remember this. The moment you chase, you lose. You lose position. You lose leverage. You lose yourself. You've done it before. You felt someone pull away and you panicked. You sent the long text. You tried to fix what you didn't break. You tried to convince someone to choose you. Every time you did that, you sent your subconscious a message. They are above me. I need their approval. I need their attention. Epictetus said, "You become what you give your attention to." If you give your attention to people who disrespect you, you become a man who orbits around disrespect. You become a man who studies mixed signals like sacred scripture. You become a man whose mood rises and falls with someone else's breadcrumbs. The Stoic warrior does something different. When disrespect appears, he does not explain himself. He does not beg. He does not craft essays trying to fix someone else's lack of character. He notices, he registers, he takes a breath, and he withdraws his energy, quietly, calmly, without a speech. You don't need to announce your standards, you live them. In modern life, this might look like you stop double texting someone who clearly isn't interested. You stop trying to prove your worth to people who only notice you when they need something. You stop staying in rooms, group chats, social circles where you are the punchline, not the respected presence. You let your absence speak. This is not about ego. It is about self-respect. When you no longer chase disrespect, you send yourself a new message. My time and energy are valuable. If you mishandle them, you lose them. Say this to yourself right now. I do not chase disrespect. I walk away from it. Rule 2. Control your first reaction. This is where most men lose the war, not in what happens, in their first reaction. You get ignored, and your first reaction is to rage or sulk. You get criticized, and your first reaction is to defend, attack, or shut down. You feel fear, and your first reaction is to run. The first reaction is the emotional punch. The second reaction is your choice. Seneca said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." He wasn't telling you to swallow your feelings forever. He was telling you to create space between the hit and the swing. Someone disrespects you. The old you fires back instantly. You send something impulsive. You say something you regret. You over-explain. You let your emotions drive the car while you sit in the trunk. The Stoic warrior does this instead. He feels the heat rise. He feels the urge to react. And he delays. Not for a year. Sometimes just for a minute. Sometimes just for 3 slow breaths. In that gap, you step back into command. You ask yourself, what response protects my peace and my standards, not just my ego? Maybe the right move is silence. Maybe it's a calm, short boundary. Maybe it's walking away completely. But whatever it is chosen, not spilled. Imagine someone posts something about you, mocks you, or spreads a rumor. Your phone lights up, your chest tightens, your jaw locks, your thumbs itch to retaliate. In that moment, you are standing at a fork in the road. One path. You react now. You dump your emotion. You give them your power. The other path, you delay. You breathe. You reclaim your position. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Your estimate. The story you tell yourself. When you control your first reaction, you control the story. You stop making everything about your worth. You start seeing things as they are. Data, information, tests. Repeat this identity shift. I am a man who controls his first reaction. Rule 3. Detach from outcomes. Marry your standards. This one will hurt at first because you've been trained to obsess over outcomes. Did they text back? Did I win their approval? Did I get the job? Did I impress them? Your mood has been chained to things you do not control. Stoicism cuts that chain. The Stoics divide life into 2 categories: what you control, what you don't. You do not control whether she chooses you. You control how you show up. You do not control whether your boss likes you. You control the quality of your work. You do not control whether strangers online agree with you. You control whether what you say is true and aligned with your values. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Your mind is where your standards live. So here's the brutal rule. Detach from outcomes. Marry your standards. That means you measure your day by questions like, did I act with discipline? Did I honor my boundaries? Did I speak truthfully? Did I keep my word to myself? Not, did everyone like me? Did everyone approve? Did I avoid all discomfort?" When you lock in standards like this, you become harder to move. Someone pulls away? You don't crumble. You ask, did I act with integrity? If yes, you let them go and keep walking. You release the illusion of control over other people. You grip tightly only what is truly yours, your decisions, your focus, your effort. Say this, I am committed to my standards, not to anyone's approval. Rule 4. Suffer in training, not in chaos. Right now, most of your suffering is unplanned. You wake up into it. You trip into it. You react to it. You suffer when someone ghosts you. You suffer when you scroll and compare your life to everyone else's. You suffer when you keep breaking promises to yourself. The Stoic way flips this. You choose your suffering in advance. You suffer in training, so you bleed less in battle. That means you deliberately do hard things when you don't have to. You get up earlier than you feel like. You go to the gym when your body wants the couch. You say no to easy dopamine. You sit in silence with your thoughts instead of drowning them in noise. This is not just self-help discipline. This is psychological warfare. Every time you put yourself through chosen discomfort, You send your mind a message. We do hard things on purpose. So when life hits you with unexpected pain, your nervous system recognizes the terrain. Stress shows up, and instead of collapsing, you think, I've been here before. Seneca practiced this. He would deliberately live with less, eat simple food, wear rough clothes, and ask, is this what I used to fear? The point wasn't poverty. The point was power. When you voluntarily face discomfort, you stop being scared of it. You stop being held hostage by comfort. You can apply this today in small, brutal ways. Take the cold shower instead of the warm one. Do the difficult task first instead of scrolling. Have the uncomfortable conversation instead of avoiding it for weeks. With every act of chosen hardship, you harden your mind and soften your fear. Affirm it. I choose my suffering in training, so I suffer less in chaos. Now, all these rules are starting to form something larger. Never chase disrespect. Control your first reaction. Detach from outcomes. Marry your standards. Suffer in training, not in chaos. Do you see the pattern? You are moving from boy to man, from victim to warrior, from emotional drift to disciplined direction. You are learning to treat your mind like a soldier, not a screaming child. You are learning to see disrespect as data, not as an invitation to beg. You are learning to see pain as a gym, not a prison. If this is hitting you, if there's a part of you that knows you've been living beneath your potential, take a second and lock it in. Tap the like button, not for the algorithm, but as a tiny physical commitment to this new identity. You're telling yourself, I'm in, I'm doing this. Because what comes next goes even deeper. There are still brutal rules waiting for you. Rules about how you handle betrayal, how you use solitude, how you build a calm that feels dangerous because it's so solid. Rules that will force you to look in the mirror and face the ways you've been sabotaging yourself. You've picked up the sword. Now you're going to learn how to swing it. In the next part, you'll discover the remaining laws that weld all of this into a mindset that doesn't crack under pressure, a presence that commands respect without saying a word, and a discipline that turns your pain into power. You're not just learning to survive the storm anymore. You're learning to walk through it like you own the ground. By now, you can feel the difference. You're not just nodding along. You're starting to see yourself in the examples. The late night overthinking, the chasing, the way one text could ruin your whole day. You've already picked up 4 brutal rules. Never chase disrespect. Control your first reaction. Detach from outcomes. Marry your standards. Suffer in training, not in chaos. That alone can change the way you move. But to become truly mentally untouchable, you have to go deeper. Into the wounds, into the betrayals, into what you feed your mind when nobody's watching. Here comes the next law. Rule 5. Treat betrayal as a mirror, not a verdict. You've been betrayed before. Maybe they cheated. Maybe they lied. Maybe they promised they'd never leave, then disappeared the moment things got hard, and you took it personally. You turned their behavior into a verdict on your worth. What's wrong with me? Why wasn't I enough? Why did they do this to me? That's how you've been trained to think. But the Stoic warrior looks at betrayal differently. Betrayal reveals them, not you. When someone lies, cheats, or disrespects your trust, they hand you a mirror of their character, not an X-ray of your value. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When another blames you or hates you, or people voice similar criticisms, go to their souls, penetrate inside and see what sort of people they are. You will realize that there is no need to be racked with anxiety that they should hold any particular opinion about you. Go to their soul. Look at who they are. Look at their patterns. Look at how they treat themselves. You'll often see insecurity, fear, immaturity, addiction to attention. You'll see someone who betrays themselves long before they ever betrayed you. The old you responds to betrayal by asking, "Why wasn't I enough?" The Stoic warrior asks, "What does this reveal about them, and what does it teach me about my own boundaries?" That's the mirror. The mirror shows you where you ignored red flags, where you overgave, where you accepted almost respect and almost love because you didn't want to be alone. It hurts to admit that, but that's where you reclaim power. You stop trying to fix people who refuse to fix themselves. You stop romanticizing potential and start respecting evidence. From now on, when betrayal hits, you can still feel the sting. You're human. But you will follow it with this thought. This is information. This is a mirror. I will not let this define my worth, only my standards. Affirm it. Betrayal does not define me. It refines my standards. Rule 6. Guard your mind like a fortress. You want to be mentally untouchable, but look at what you feed your mind. Hours of social media, endless comparisons, toxic drama, low-value conversations. You hand strangers a direct line to your nervous system. Epictetus warned, if a person gave your body to any stranger he met on his way, you would certainly be angry. Yet you entrust your mind to anyone who comes along, so that, if he insults you, it becomes disturbed and confused. You'd never let a random stranger just drag you around by the arm, but you let random opinions drag your mind around every single day. A fortress doesn't let anyone just walk in. There are gates, there are standards, there is screening. Your mind needs the same. That means you become ruthless about your inputs. You unfollow accounts that keep you in comparison and self-hate. You limit how often you check your phone instead of letting it own you. You distance yourself from people who only gossip, complain, and talk about others. You stop feeding yourself mental junk and expecting a strong mind to come out of it. You start feeding your mind like an athlete feeds his body. Solid, nourishing, aligned with who he wants to become. Stoic texts, good books, conversations with people who challenge you instead of drain you. Moments of silence where your mind can breathe. When you protect your mental fortress, your triggers weaken. It takes more to shake you. Your thoughts become cleaner. Your focus becomes sharper. Say it. My mind is a fortress, and I control what enters. Rule 7. Be willing to be misunderstood. This one is heavy. Because you've been trained to chase approval, you learned to adjust your behavior so nobody would be mad at you. You softened your truth so nobody would think you were too much or too cold. But here's the brutal reality. You cannot be mentally untouchable and obsessed with being perfectly understood by everyone. Sometimes your boundaries will look rude to people who benefited from your lack of them. Sometimes your silence will look arrogant to people who are used to you explaining yourself. Sometimes your discipline will look boring to people who only worship comfort. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "I do what is mine to do. The rest doesn't disturb me." Your job is your actions and your standards. How other people choose to interpret that is their story, not your burden. Being willing to be misunderstood means you say no even if they roll their eyes. You walk away even if they call you cold. You stay focused even if they mock your routines. You no longer write long essays to prove you're a good person. You live in a way that's aligned with your values and let time reveal your character. Most men exhaust themselves trying to manage everyone's perception. That's why they're always tired. You are not built for that. A Stoic warrior knows that truth doesn't always come with applause. Sometimes it comes with distance. Sometimes it comes with rumors. Sometimes it comes with people walking away. Let them. You're not here to be universally understood. You're here to be internally aligned. Affirm it. I would rather be misunderstood than betray my standards. Rule 8. Remember death to sharpen your life. This is the deepest cut, the one most people avoid. You think you have time. Time to fix your habits later. Time to heal from heartbreak someday. Time to start living with discipline. When life calms down. But life doesn't owe you more time. The Stoics practiced something called memento mori. Remember you will die. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Most people read that and feel uncomfortable, so they scroll away. The Stoic warrior reads it and wakes up. You could leave life right now. Think about that. If today was your last day, would you be proud of how you're spending it? Would you be proud of how much you tolerate? How much you complain? How much you waste in numbing yourself instead of building yourself? Memento mori is not about becoming depressed. It's about becoming precise. Knowing your time is limited makes small disrespect feel less important. You won't waste years trying to convince people to treat you right. You won't waste nights endlessly stalking people who already chose to leave. Instead, you ask, if my time is this short, who do I want to be while I'm here? Do you really want your story to be? He spent his life overthinking texts and dragging his pain from one relationship to the next? Or do you want it to be, he turned his pain into discipline, his heartbreak into standards, his short life into something solid and unshakable? Remembering death strips away illusions. You stop saying, one day I'll set boundaries. You start saying, I'm not wasting another year in emotional chains. Every morning, you can remind yourself softly, I don't know how many days I have, but today I will live as a Stoic warrior. Affirm it. My time is limited, so my standards are not. Now step back for a moment and look at the full blade you're forging. You no longer chase disrespect. You control your first reaction. You detach from outcomes and marry your standards. You choose your suffering in training. You treat betrayal as a mirror. You guard your mind like a fortress. You accept being misunderstood. You remember death to sharpen your life. Do you feel how different that is from how you've been living? If you ignore these rules, the path is simple. More overthinking, more disrespect, more chasing, more nights staring at the ceiling wondering why you feel so weak inside. If you live them, the path shifts. You become harder to shake. Your life starts to organize around your values, not your fears. Your presence becomes heavier, calmer, more dangerous in the best way. People will feel it. They may not understand it, but they will feel it. In the next part of this video, you're going to see how all these brutal rules fuse together into something bigger than just tips. You'll see the full identity shift, from the man who is ruled by emotions to the Stoic warrior who carries a dangerous calm into every room. We'll tie these laws into a worldview, a way of walking, a way of seeing yourself and the world that changes not just what you do, but who you are becoming. You've been sharpening the sword. Next, you become the one who wields it with purpose. Look at how far you've come. Already, you're not just the man who gets tossed around by emotions anymore. You're starting to see the patterns, the disrespect you use to chase, the reactions you use to unleash, the comfort you use to worship. Now you've got rules, edges, standards, a sword instead of open hands. In the beginning, this might have felt like just advice, but somewhere along the way, something deeper shifted. You don't just want better habits, you want a different identity. You're not trying to be less emotional. You're becoming a stoic warrior, a man whose calm is dangerous because it's backed by discipline and standards. Think about the version of you who first pressed play on this video. He was tired of overthinking, tired of disrespect, tired of feeling like his mind was a storm that never stopped. Now look at the version of you sitting here right now. You've heard brutal truths and didn't click away. You faced the idea that you've been tolerating too much. You swallowed the hard reality that your reactions have been fueling your suffering. That alone is proof. There is a warrior in you. Now it's time to tie everything together, not as separate rules, but as a way of seeing the world, a way of walking through it, a way of being. Picture your life as a battlefield again. Before all this, you were out there with no armor, no weapon, no strategy. You took every arrow personally. You thought every attack meant you were weak, unworthy, broken. Now the scene is different. You still stand in the same storm. The rain still falls. The wind still howls. People still leave. People still lie. Life still throws chaos your way. But you are not the same. You have the shield of your standards. You have the sword of your discipline. You have the armor of your perspective. Every brutal Stoic rule you've learned is a piece of that armor. Never chasing disrespect means you no longer throw your weapon down and beg the enemy for kindness. Controlling your first reaction means you don't swing wildly and exhaust yourself over nothing. Detaching from outcomes and marrying your standards means you don't lose your center every time the wind changes direction. Suffering in training, not in chaos, means you've already built strength before the war even starts. Treating betrayal as a mirror, guarding your mind, accepting being misunderstood, remembering death. All of that turns you from a confused fighter into a composed commander. And that's the identity shift. You're not here to be just another man in the crowd. You're here to become the man who walks into a room and doesn't need to prove anything. Because his standards speak, his eyes speak, his silence speaks. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike your enemy." In your old life, revenge looked like proving someone wrong, making them jealous, getting them back. In this new life, revenge is simply this. You become solid. You become calm. You become disciplined. You become so grounded that their chaos can't pull you under anymore. The man you were would reread conversations 100 times, trying to decode crumbs of respect. The man you're becoming doesn't live on crumbs. He sits at the table of his own standards. You used to see yourself as the guy who cares too much. But what you really were was the guy who had no internal law, no code. So everything shook you. Now you have a code. The code says, I don't chase disrespect. I don't hand my reactions to anyone. I live by my standards regardless of who stays or leaves. I choose hard training over soft excuses. I see betrayal as information, not proof of my worthlessness. I protect my mind. I accept that not everyone will understand me. I remember that I will die, so I refuse to live small. That code is your internal law. It's what separates you from the masses. Seneca said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Every painful thing you've been through, every rejection, every cold shoulder, every sleepless night, all of it has been friction. All of it has been polishing you. You thought your pain was random. But under this Stoic lens, you see it as training, evidence, proof that life has been sharpening you, not just breaking you. Think about your heartbreak, the one that left you questioning everything, the one that made you feel small, invisible, weak. Through the eyes of your old self, that heartbreak was a verdict. I'm not enough. I'm unlovable. Through the eyes of the Stoic warrior, it becomes something else. It becomes the moment you realized you were begging for attention instead of building respect. It becomes the moment you saw clearly how low your standards were. It becomes the moment you decided to stop negotiating your worth. Same event, different man. This is what Stoicism really is. Not quotes, not aesthetics. A complete shift in who you are in relation to your experiences. You're no longer the victim of everything that happens. You are the interpreter, the one who decides what things mean, the one who chooses a response that protects your peace and your code. And people will feel this change. Some will start to respect you more, even if they never say it. Some will distance themselves because they can no longer use you. Some will try to test you just to see if this new version of you is real or temporary. Let them test. You're not here for appearances. You're here for transformation. Everything you do now is filtered through a new identity. When you wake up and don't feel like getting up, the old you would negotiate. Just 10 more minutes. I'll go to the gym tomorrow. The Stoic warrior says, "My feelings don't run this, my code does." And he moves. When someone sends a disrespectful message, the old you would type paragraphs, demand answers, beg for clarity. The Stoic warrior looks at it once, feels what he feels, and responds with either silence or a short, firm boundary. No drama, no pleading. When your mind spirals at night, replaying betrayal and disrespect, the old you would dive into it, make it bigger, attach stories that eat you alive. The Stoic warrior notices the spiral and says, "This is my mind. I decide what gets to stay here." Then he shifts his focus, breathes, returns to what he can control. Slowly, your entire life reshapes around this identity. You become the man who walks away when it costs his peace. You become the man who doesn't explain his boundaries like a defendant. You become the man who chooses discipline over comfort more often than not. You start to feel different, calmer, heavier in the best way, more grounded. This is the dangerous calm you hear about. Dangerous not because you're violent, dangerous because you're not easily moved, because people can't manipulate you with silence, mixed signals, or emotional games, because you don't worship approval anymore. Inside, you're still human. You still feel, you still hurt, you still get disappointed. But there's something beneath all that now. A base layer of steel, a backbone of principle. This is the bigger Stoic worldview. Life is short, people are flawed, pain is guaranteed. But your response, your standards, your identity, those are in your hands. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" You start asking, "How do I use this to become stronger, clearer, more aligned with my code?" Pain becomes information. Rejection becomes redirection. Solitude becomes training. Disrespect becomes a quick exit sign, not a puzzle to solve. As you embody this more and more, your future shifts. The relationships you choose will change. You won't even be attracted to the same dynamics anymore. The opportunities you pursue will change. You'll pass on things that used to tempt you because they violate your standards. The way you treat yourself will change. You'll stop being lenient with your own excuses. You stop seeing yourself as a boy hoping the world is kind. You start seeing yourself as a warrior who can handle whatever comes. And here's the quiet, powerful result: peace. Not the fake peace of avoiding conflict, the real peace of knowing you can trust yourself under pressure. As this video moves into its final part, that's where we're going. From understanding the rules and feeling the identity shift to living it daily. Turning all of this into concrete marching orders. Simple, clear actions you can take starting today to make this mindset real, not just inspiring. You're not here to collect quotes. You're here to change your life. You've stood in the storm long enough feeling powerless. Now you stand in the same storm with a different posture. Head higher, breath slower, eyes clearer. You are not who you were when this started, and you're not yet who you're becoming. You're in the forge, in the fire, being hardened, shaped, refined. In the final part, you're going to get your marching orders as a Stoic warrior, a clear path forward, no more guessing, no more drifting, just a man, a code, and a life to build. Take a breath. Feel where you are right now. You've walked through the darkness of overthinking, disrespect, betrayal, and weakness. You've faced brutal truths about yourself. You've seen how your old reactions, your chasing, your lack of standards were all part of the problem, and you didn't run from it. You stayed, you listened, you let the sword cut. That alone tells me something about you. You're not built to stay soft. You're built for this, for weight, for responsibility, for war. Now it's time to turn everything you've learned into marching orders, not theories, actions, a way of living that makes you mentally untouchable day after day. Think back to the man you were before these brutal Stoic rules. He chased disrespect, hoping it would turn into love. He reacted instantly, letting anger, fear, and ego drive the car. He lived for outcomes, begging for approval, terrified of rejection. He avoided hard things, then wondered why he felt so weak. He treated betrayal like a verdict on his worth. He left his mind unguarded, open to anyone's opinion. He twisted himself to be understood by everyone. He lived like time was endless, wasting his days in noise and distraction. Now, look at the man you are becoming. You've learned to walk away from disrespect instead of chasing it. You've learned to delay your reactions and choose your response. You've learned to lock into your standards and release the need to control outcomes. You've learned to suffer in training, so you bleed less in chaos. You've learned to see betrayal as information, not proof you're not enough. You've learned to guard your mind like a fortress. You've learned to accept being misunderstood in order to stay aligned. You've learned to remember death, so you stop living like you have unlimited time. That's not just a mindset shift, that's an identity shift. Marcus Aurelius said, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." Your old ambitions were small: be liked, be chosen, avoid pain. Your new ambitions are different. Become unshakable, become disciplined, become a man whose presence commands respect without begging for it. Become a Stoic warrior who carries a dangerous calm through the storms of life. So how do you live this, starting now? First, you make this personal. This is not just Stoicism as a philosophy. This is your code, your law, your new operating system. You wake up differently. Before you touch your phone, you remember. You control your mind, not outside events. You remind yourself that your time is limited, so your standards are not. You start your day with one act of chosen discomfort. Maybe it's getting up when your body screams to stay in bed. Maybe it's a workout when you'd rather scroll. Maybe it's 5 minutes of silence with your thoughts instead of drowning them in noise. You do it to send a clear message. I suffer in training, so I suffer less in chaos. Throughout the day, you watch your reactions like a trained soldier watches the horizon. Someone disrespects you. Your phone stays in your hand, but you don't rush to type. You feel the punch of emotion and delay. You give yourself space. You ask, what response protects my peace and standards? Sometimes you walk away. Sometimes you say a firm no. Sometimes you say nothing at all. Each time, you're building a reputation with yourself. You are the man who controls his first reaction. You start to apply your standards ruthlessly. You notice when you're tempted to chase disrespect, the late-night text you want to send, the call you want to make, the old situations you want to fall back into. You pause and ask, is this aligned with my code? If the answer is no, you stop. You sit in the discomfort. You let the craving pass. You let the ego tantrum, and you don't obey it. That's one of the hardest parts of this path, sitting in discomfort without running. But every time you do it, you become more untouchable. You become a man whose value doesn't fluctuate with someone else's attention. You become a man who can be alone without feeling empty. You also clean up your environment. You start unfollowing people and pages that keep you trapped in comparison, drama, and mental junk. You pull back from conversations that are built on gossip and negativity. You stop feeding your mind garbage and expecting strength to magically appear. Instead, you start to nourish your mind. You read a few pages of real wisdom. You revisit these Stoic rules. You seek out conversations that challenge you instead of weaken you. You build a mental fortress brick by brick. And yes, some people will notice the change. They may say, you're different. You've changed. You're cold now. But you know the truth. You're not colder. You're clearer. You're not more distant. You're more defined. You aren't here to be understood by everyone. You're here to be loyal to your code. So when someone doesn't get it, you let them not get it. You don't write essays defending your boundaries. You don't twist yourself into knots to stay likable. You simply keep walking your path. There will still be pain. There will still be loss. There will still be moments that sting, break, and cut deep. Stoicism doesn't promise you a painless life. It gives you the tools to stay unbroken inside that pain. It teaches you to hold heartbreak in one hand and your standards in the other, to feel the sting of betrayal, but still say, "This reveals them, and it refines me." To look at your fear and say, "You can walk with me, but you don't get to drive." You're not becoming untouchable because nothing ever hits you. You're becoming untouchable because nothing that hits you controls who you become. From this day forward, your life splits into two paths. One path is the same as before. You ignore these rules. You go back to chasing, overreacting, explaining, and breaking your own boundaries. You keep living as if you have unlimited time. You keep giving your mind away to anyone with an opinion and a keyboard. You end up resentful, exhausted, and quietly ashamed of the man you see in the mirror. The other path is harder, but cleaner. You engrave these brutal Stoic rules into your daily life. You live like your time is short. You commit to your standards more than to anyone's approval. You fight your weakness daily in small, unseen battles. You become the man whose calm is dangerous because it comes from real discipline. That second path is the path of the Stoic warrior. That's the path you've been stepping onto with every line of this video. Now, I want you to make a clear decision, not just a feeling, a decision. If you're ready to stop being at the mercy of disrespect, betrayal, and your own overthinking, if you're ready to live by a code instead of moods, if you're ready to become mentally untouchable, seal it. Hit like, not just as some random gesture, but as a visible mark that you chose this path. Subscribe and stay in this brotherhood of men who are done living soft. Share this with someone you know is drowning in their own mind and needs a sword, not more sugar. And in the comments, write this final affirmation and mean it. I am a Stoic warrior. My mind is calm. My standards are unshakable. Let that be your line in the sand. The moment you look back on and say, that's when it changed. That's when I stopped begging for respect and started living like a man who deserves it. Remember, you will not be perfect. You will still stumble. You will still have days when the storm feels too loud. But now, you know who you are in that storm. You are the man who does not chase disrespect. You are the man who controls his first reaction. You are the man who lives by standards, not outcomes. You are the man who chooses hard training over soft excuses. You are the man who lets betrayal refine him, not define him. You are the man who guards his mind like a fortress. You are the man who accepts being misunderstood rather than betraying his code. You are the man who remembers death and lives fully, right now, with strength and clarity. You are not a victim of this world. You are a warrior moving through it. And from this moment on, every step you take, every decision you make, every boundary you hold is proof. You are becoming mentally untouchable. Now go live like it.